The lights dimmed, the audience silenced. For a brief moment, there was no sound, no movement, only the hum of the cameras and the soft rustle of the crew preparing for what was about to unfold. A hush fell over the studio, the kind that only happens when something monumental is about to happen. It wasn't the usual laughter, applause, and chatter that filled the space. This time, the anticipation was thicker, almost palpable. At the center of it all was Steve Harvey, his usual wit and humor replaced by something much deeper. His eyes were focused on the guest across from him, the man who had just delivered words that seemed to hang in the air, suspended between truth and something far more profound. The audience could feel the weight of the moment. It had all started, like any other talk show. A typical celebrity guest had been on earlier, telling jokes, sharing stories. The audience was comfortable, familiar with the banter that filled the airwaves. But the moment Ibrahim Traoré, the Prime Minister of Burkina Faso, entered the scene, things shifted. Ibrahim's presence was magnetic. You could feel the difference in the room. His calm, deliberate demeanor was a stark contrast to the frenetic energy of the show's usual pace. Steve, ever the master of ceremonies, tried to keep things light. But as Ibrahim began to speak, his words had a weight far beyond mere politics. As the host, Steve had seen it all. He'd had his share of emotional moments, guests who shared, life-changing stories, and moments of triumph against the odds. But nothing had prepared him for what was about to happen next. Ibrahim's voice, steady and strong, resonated with a calm that seemed to fill the room. "I come from a place where hope is a fragile thing," he said, pausing for a moment as the audience leaned forward, hanging on every word. "Where the weight of the world is felt by everyone. And yet, I've come to believe that the one thing that can save us all is not power, or money, or even weapons. It's kindness." Steve was still, his usual quick-witted response absent. This wasn't a topic he was prepared to handle with jokes or humor. The gravity of Ibrahim's words had hit him like a ton of bricks. In that moment, Steve Harvey, a man known for his charisma and charm, found himself at a loss for words. Ibrahim continued, his gaze unwavering. "In my darkest hours, when everything seemed lost, the one thing that made a difference, the one thing that changed everything, was an act of kindness, a simple gesture, a moment of compassion. These things saved not just my life, but the future of my nation." The audience was silent, absorbed in the weight of Ibrahim's story. Steve, still in shock, could feel the heat of the spotlight pressing down on him, but it wasn't the usual discomfort of being on stage. No, this was different. This was deeper. Ibrahim wasn't just speaking to Steve or to the audience in the room. He was speaking to the world. And what he said next would forever change the trajectory of the show and the way the world saw kindness. "I've seen the worst of humanity," Ibrahim said, his voice steady but carrying the weight of experience. "But I've also seen the best. I've seen how a single act of kindness can change everything. And that's why, Steve, I have a message for you." The camera panned to Steve's face. His usual demeanor, a mix of humor and confidence, was gone, replaced by something far more genuine. His eyes, usually sharp and focused, were soft, vulnerable. He hadn't expected this. He hadn't expected a message from Ibrahim Traoré. Ibrahim leaned forward slightly, his voice taking on a more intimate tone. "Steve, you have done something remarkable. In the face of your own challenges, you've managed to inspire countless people. You've used your platform to uplift others, to show them that no matter how difficult life gets, there is always a reason to keep going." The words struck Steve like a blow. His eyes filled with tears as he tried to hold back the emotions that were threatening to overwhelm him. This wasn't the Steve Harvey the world was used to seeing. This was a man moved by the deep truth in Ibrahim's words, a man touched by the unspoken message of compassion that transcended borders. "I don't know what to say," Steve whispered, his voice breaking slightly. "But thank you. Thank you for reminding me of what's important." Ibrahim smiled gently. "You don't need to say anything, Steve. Sometimes, the most powerful words are the ones left unspoken. The world needs more people like you. People who use their platform for good. People who inspire change with their actions. That's the real power." The audience, sensing the shift, sat in stunned silence. Steve's usual bravado had given way to something far more meaningful. And in that moment, the show was no longer about celebrity gossip or jokes or the usual back and forth. It was about something bigger, something more universal. As the show continued, the emotional shift in the room was palpable. There was a sense of shared humanity, a recognition that kindness was not just an act, but a force capable of changing the course of lives. In the following days, Steve received thousands of messages from viewers, fans, and people from all over the world. They shared stories of kindness that had touched their lives, of small gestures that had made all the difference. The impact of Ibrahim's message had spread like wildfire, igniting something in the hearts of everyone who had watched. Steve, still moved by the conversation, shared a post on his social media. "What I learned today is this: kindness is the most powerful tool we have. We can all make a difference in someone's life. No act of kindness is too small. Today, let's choose to be kind, to be the light in someone's darkness. Let's make the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time." The response was overwhelming. Thousands of comments poured in, sharing personal stories of how kindness had changed lives. One viewer shared how a simple smile from a stranger had lifted their spirits on the worst day of their life. Another shared how a colleague's kind words had helped them through a difficult time at work. The stories kept coming, each one a testament to the power of kindness. And for Steve, it was a moment of realization. The power of kindness wasn't just something to talk about. It was something to live by. It was something that had the potential to change the world, to heal the wounds of a broken society. Ibrahim's words had sparked something deep inside him, a recognition that the real work lay in each of us, in the small moments of compassion we share with others. As the episode came to an end, Steve addressed the camera directly, his voice calm but full of conviction. "I want to leave you with this, folks. Kindness is not just a choice, it's a responsibility. We all have the power to make the world better, one small act at a time. So today I challenge you to go out there and make someone's day. Hold the door open, offer a smile, share a word of encouragement. You never know. It might be the one thing they need to turn their whole life around." With that, the screen faded to black, but the message lingered in the air. The final message appeared on the screen. What act of kindness has made a difference in your life? Share it with us in the comments. The credits rolled, and the audience at home felt a sense of connection, one that transcended the television screen. The world seemed just a little bit brighter, a little bit kinder. As Steve's voice echoed one last time, remember to like, share, and subscribe, because kindness is contagious, and together we can make the world a better place. In the days that followed, Steve received thousands of messages from people all over the world. Many shared how Ibrahim's words had transformed their own perspectives, how they had been moved to spread kindness, and how they were choosing to be better in their own lives. It was the ripple effect of one message, one act of kindness that sparked a movement, and Ibrahim Traoré, sitting across from Steve Harvey on that fateful day, had done more than just deliver a speech. He had changed a world.